Far from land, the sun is just a distant shimmering speck above. In this vast, mysterious world of the dark blue open ocean, you are not alone. A shadow moves in the deep, a sleek, powerful shape gliding through the water. It has done so for over 400 million years, a perfect hunter honed by time. But now, a new warning echoes through the scientific community. The International Union for Conservation of Nature, the world's most trusted authority on the status of life on Earth, has issued a dire alert. Their latest report delivers a hard truth. A full third of all sharks, along with their ray and chimera relatives, are now officially threatened with extinction. This is not a guess. It is a careful, scientific assessment of hundreds of species. What does this loss mean for the ocean, a place of such ancient wonder? How did creatures that survived Earth's greatest mass extinctions find themselves in so much trouble? The IUCN's warning is clear and specific. After examining the data for all known species of sharks, rays, and chimaeras, a group known as chondrichians, they found that 37.5% are at risk. This makes them the second most threatened group of vertebrates on the entire planet, right behind amphibians. The situation has been getting worse, not better. Their analysis shows the threat of extinction creeping into every part of the shark family tree. This official red list status means these animals are critically endangered or vulnerable. It is a scientific confirmation that they are on a path that could lead to them vanishing from our seas forever. Which long-lived ocean giants, vital to the health of the seas, are now carrying this official label of danger? The answer, according to the IUCN's findings, is not a mystery. It comes from the surface world, from fishing boats that crisscross every sea. The single overwhelming threat to every single one of these at-risk creatures is overfishing. This isn't always about targeting sharks. In fact, the report states that most of the threatened sharks and rays, about 3 out of every 4, are not the main prize. They are bycatch. They get tangled in nets meant for tuna or snared on long lines of hooks set for swordfish. Once pulled from their realm, they cannot go back. This constant, unintentional harvest adds up to a staggering loss. The IUCN warns that this relentless fishing pressure is the engine driving the entire crisis, impacting 100% of the threatened species. Picture the great hammerhead, with its strange, wide head designed to pin stingrays to the seafloor. Or the oceanic whitetip, a bold, curious shark of the deep blue that once followed every sailing ship. These iconic hunters are now among the most threatened, their status confirmed by the IUCN's global assessment. But the danger runs even deeper than the loss of species. Recent science reveals a haunting trend highlighted by researchers. The sharks most at risk are often the most unique. Imagine the massive gentle whale shark, a filter feeder as big as a bus. Or the small, oddly patterned angle shark that hides in the sand, waiting to ambush its prey. These species with special jobs, strange shapes, and unusual diets are disappearing faster than others. The IUCN's data suggests this could lead to a future ocean of sameness, a phenomenon scientists call phenotypic homogenization. Would you miss the wonder of knowing a truly bizarre and specialized creature still swims in the deep? For years, the driving force behind shark fishing was the demand for their fins. That trade still exists, but the IUCN report points to a quieter, bigger market that has grown. Their analysis shows the global business of shark and ray meat, fins, gill plates, and liver oil is now worth nearly $1 billion every year. Shockingly, the trade in meat is now valued at 1.7 times the value of the fin trade alone. Walk into a restaurant or market in many parts of the world, and you might find it sold under different names. It might be called flake, rock salmon, or cacao. This demand creates immense pressure. Entire populations are fished to feed this market, often with few rules to stop it. The IUCN identifies the world's biggest catchers as nations with huge fishing fleets: Indonesia, Spain, India, Mexico, and the United States. What happens to the balance of an entire ecosystem when its top predators are steadily removed for a global market? In response to this emergency, scientists have not just identified the problem. They have created a powerful new tool to solve it. Building on the IUCN's warning, researchers have spent years tracking sharks on their epic journeys across ocean basins. They have discovered hidden nurseries where baby sharks take their first breaths in shallow, warm lagoons. They have followed the highway sharks used to travel from feeding grounds to breeding sites. Now, for the first time, all that knowledge has been gathered into one global map published by the IUCN. This map pinpoints over 750 of the most critical places on Earth for sharks and rays. They call them Important Shark and Ray Areas, or ISRAs. Think of them as vital organs in the body of the ocean. If you protect these specific places, these nurseries, these migratory routes, you give entire species a chance to survive. Can you imagine a world where the ocean's most important neighborhoods for sharks are guarded like national parks on land? The sad truth the data reveals is that today, most of these vital neighborhoods have no protection. In a place like the Western Indian Ocean, a hub of shark diversity, the ISRA mapping found that only 1% of these critical areas are fully safe from fishing nets and hooks. This leaves these essential areas wide open, like an unguarded nursery. But the new ISRA map gives governments something they never had before: a clear scientific guide from the IUCN showing exactly where to act. It turns a huge, overwhelming problem into a series of solvable puzzles. Which country will be the first to use this new map to build a true sanctuary for ocean travelers? The proof that action works is already written in the waves, and the IUCN's own reports highlight this. Look at places like the United States, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. These nations have something crucial: strong, science-based fishing rules that are actually enforced. The IUCN identifies these waters as bright spots, refuges where shark populations are in much better shape because management is working. These examples show the clear formula for success. Find out how many sharks can be caught without collapsing the population, set that limit, and make sure it is followed. It is not magic. It is good management. What if every coastal nation adopted these simple, proven rules? Nature has shown us that recovery is possible. The northern elephant seal was once hunted down to just 20 individuals. Many thought it was gone forever. Then humans stepped back. Today, more than 150,000 seals crowd the beaches, a living reminder of what happens when nature is given room to breathe. Sharks would take longer to recover, but the principle is the same. Remove the main cause of death, and life fights its way back. The IUCN has identified that cause. The science is clear. What remains is a human decision. Losing a third of the world's sharks isn't just about sharks. It's about the collapse of balance. As top predators, they keep oceans healthy, shaping entire ecosystems from coral reefs to open seas. Without them, the ocean becomes simpler, weaker, and far less alive. The fate of these ancient hunters now sits in our hands. The warning has been sounded. The maps are drawn. The next chapter hasn't been written yet. That's why we tell these stories, to understand the deep and what's happening beneath the surface. If you want to keep exploring with us, subscribe. If this made you think, leave a like or share it with someone who loves the ocean. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.